Sleep takes up a third of our lives. If you live 90 years, you will sleep for 30 of them. This condition is the subject of research by many scientists around the world. What is sleep and why do we dream? Dreams can be pleasant, scary, interesting, strange, and absurd. They have their own logic. They are filled with abstractions and physically impossible scenarios. At the same time, at night you may dream of some kind of routine, like going to the store or wet cleaning the floor. Dreams have always fascinated people, and they try to explain them somehow. The ancient Greeks considered them to be messages from the gods and deceased ancestors. The Chinese of the same period of history perceived them in a similar way and tried to see in them prophecies about the future. About the same thing is done by modern people. Sigmund Freud, a big cigar lover, tried to explain the psychology of dreams. In his interpretation, water meant birth, travel death, clothes vulnerability, rats and mice children. These parallels can be treated in different ways, but the influence of Freud's ideas on the question of understanding dreams was enormous. He considered dreams to be a pillar road to the unconscious. It has been said for a long time that dreams are the result of the brain processing information received during the day, but the theory of emotional regulation suggests that they have a completely understandable function. This is an attempt to make sense of what is happening in the real world, but in a safe, closed environment, something like a personal account for solving problems. Thus, dreams, with all their oddities, are a continuation of the mental activity of a waking person, and vice versa. The theory also pays attention to the interpretation of symbols and considers dreams to be conscious reflection on specific issues. There is also a directly opposite point of view. Dreams are just waste products of brain activity. Dreams are the result of random electrical surges and the release of chemical compounds that the sleeping mind is trying to combine into something relatively coherent. This idea was proposed in 1977 by psychiatrists Alan Hobson and Robert McCarley, and subsequently became known as the synthesis activation hypothesis. It is she who suggests that the brain self-cleanses during sleep, and this contributes to the formation of ideas, memories, reflections, and so on. This is due to the activation of the limbic system, especially the amygdala and hippocampus. Information processing theory, meanwhile, approaches the issue from an almost mechanical point of view. Its name sounds like a term borrowed from somewhere in computer science, and this is very symptomatic lately. When comparing the human brain with a computer seems almost inevitable. But Sigmund Freud drew a parallel with the enclosed steam engine, so that's all right, it's just a good tradition. The mentioned theory suggests that the brain is, in fact, an information input-output device designed to perform certain tasks and learning. Dreams are viewed through this prism. The theory of the self-organizing model of biological systems follows from the previous one. This theory does not address the study of the content or meaning of dreams, only the cognitive processes generated by them. It is postulated here that we dream when there is a discrepancy between the expected response of the human biological system and environmental conditions, life, work, relationships, and the like. The brain is trying to rebuild itself in such a way as to eliminate this contradiction, and this is especially true for specific memories and experiences. You may have already noticed that many of the described theories are interrelated and similar to each other. This is true, if only because new ones often take existing ones as a basis. It is also striking that some of them cannot be tested in practice. Freud's theory is difficult to qualify as related to science, while others deprive dreams of all mystery, turning a person into an incomprehensible array of intercellular interactions. Sleep is the subjective perception of visual images that arise in the mind of a sleeping person. When we sleep, we usually do not realize that we are in a dream and imagine everything for real life. All people are able to dream, but not everyone can remember them after waking up. Not everyone is able to tell you what he dreamed. We may even have 40 dreams a night, but we will only remember 1 or 2, or even not one at all. If you are in a dream and do not understand that you are dreaming, then you will not be able to get out of the dream. You will perceive it as real life. It will make no sense for you to leave real life, and you will just float in this dream until you wake up, or you will not be woken up. A lucid dream is a dream in which you sleep and clearly understand that you are dreaming and you can do anything there. For example, to meet any people, travel through time and space, or live the life of your dreams. During a dream, you sleep safely in your bed, but nightmares and disturbing visions may arise that need to be accepted and understood as temporary. Meeting with unfriendly creatures depends on personal settings. If you are a positive person, then you will not meet bad creatures in your dreams, but if you are too impressionable, just the fact of nightmares should be taken into account and treated like ordinary dreams. There is also a false awakening. This is one of the natural phenomena of sleep. A false awakening is that a person can wake up, start doing their usual things as usual. and then suddenly wake up again. For real now. Everyone has their own individual goals and interests when it comes to lucid dreaming. Some people may use them for entertainment, others for exploring their inner world or spiritual development. Using lucid dreams to correct subconscious fears, complexes, and blocks can really be very useful. By being aware of their fears and blocks during a dream, a person can begin to work on them in everyday life to overcome them. In addition, lucid dreaming can be a very valuable tool for creative people, as during a dream you can experience incredibly vivid and original ideas and inspiration. In general, lucid dreaming is an interesting and multifaceted experience that can be useful for many people for various reasons. It is important to remember that everyone can find their own way and use lucid dreaming in accordance with their interests and goals. Sleep paralysis is a sleep disorder in which the brain wakes up and the body remains paralyzed. A person cannot move and experiences fear, and sometimes visual and auditory hallucinations. Sleep paralysis is observed only when you wake up naturally, so if you are woken up, it will disappear. Sleep paralysis occurs due to an imbalance between brain function and muscle tone during sleep. The deeper the sleep, the lower the muscle tone, and vice versa, the more shallow the sleep, the higher the muscle tone. If the balance of melatonin, choline, and serotonin is disrupted for some reason, the brain may wake up earlier than the body. And then, while the muscles of the body are still relaxed, the person realizes that something is wrong, but cannot move. The fight against sleep paralysis is conducted individually, and different ways may be suitable for each person. Some recommendations that help avoid this include sleeping on your side, getting enough sleep and avoiding stress, falling asleep in a position where you can breathe through your nose and not through your mouth. If symptomatic horror starts happening to you every night, pay attention to your health and try to get out of sleep yourself. Coming out of a dream is a forced attempt to interrupt a dream, consciously realizing that the visual images in it are false. The first way to wake up: exit by force of will. This method is considered the most common. Suppose you saw something unreal in a dream and realized that you were dreaming. If you want to wake up, but at the same time realize that you are in a dream, this method will certainly help you. First, tell your consciousness, "I'm definitely dreaming. I want to wake up." It will go to your brain. Then close your eyes in a dream. Squeeze your head hard and strain with all your strength. There should be a result in 10 seconds. The second way: the exit of death. This method does not work for everyone anymore and is considered to be uncommon among people. Again, knowing that you are in a dream, you can get out of the dream by dying in it. In fact, you can't die in your sleep. This is a human death, but however, we will have to die in it if we cannot get out the first way. And so, try to die in your sleep. If you are on the road, try to get hit by a car. If you are in your apartment, smoke from the window. In many dreams, some of you were often killed and you died. In 8 cases out of 10, this method works. The third way to wake up quickly. The way out is by shouting. This method works on almost all people, but alas, it is little used. This method is rare, as it only works when someone attacks you in a dream. This happens more often when you watched a horror movie at night. If you realize that you are in a dream, and you are in some kind of bad place and you know that there is some kind of creature in the vicinity, do not run in any case. This creature can attack at any moment and you do not have time to go out the first way, and you are afraid to go out the second way. The third way is for you to scream that there is silence at this very moment. We see cases of aggression from the enemy in this case. After that, he will definitely attack you. Relax, and when the monster attacks, it will just jump on you. The person will start strangling. You won't feel any pain and you'll wake up in a second and a half.